If you're a drone pilot and you're wanting to know more about precision flying with the DJI Mini SE, then you've come to the right place. Hi, this is Ken with UAV Coach. We unboxed the Mini SE, we went through takeoffs and landings, and most recently we showed you flight maneuvers to practice. Now we'll review and demonstrate what it means to conduct precision flying. So let's get started. To begin with, what do we mean by precision flying? To me, precision flying means having the ability to carry out the desired flight mission. This comes by practicing various maneuvers like we've discussed in previous videos. These are things like square patterns, targeted landings, smooth movements, and inverted control. We'll discuss more cinematic techniques in an upcoming video, but for today we're talking about becoming proficient and skilled with joystick movements so that you're able to fly safely and confidently in a variety of situations. Just a couple of examples are flying near buildings, structures, or trees, or maybe you're flying in a windy situation or an emergency occurs. You need to be familiar with how the drone acts in the environment you're in and how the various joystick inputs should be used, and be comfortable in quickly making the correct inputs. Again, practicing the movements previously discussed helps immensely. And here, we'll be showing you examples of how to apply that practice in some real-world situations. There may be situations where you want to fly close to something in order to reveal something behind it, or to inspect something close up. In the case of a building or structure, it's generally fairly easy to see the edges of the structure and keep a safe distance from them. But in the cases of trees, you want to be cautious and aware of any small branches that are not easily seen from a distance or even by obstacle avoidance technology. In the case of the DJI Mini SE, there is no obstacle sensing capability in front of or around the drone, so you have to use extreme caution. Safe flight planning in this situation is important. If you can get close to the tree, you can identify any small branches that might be a problem. But if you can't get close, you'll need to use your visual reference and the camera on the drone. You can get the drone close to the tree per your visual reference, then use the drone controls to maneuver the drone camera so that you can clearly see any obstacles in your planned flight path. I like to have the center point display in the DJI Fly app visible to give me a reference point for the center of the drone. If you have to fly the drone toward you where the camera is facing in your direction rather than away from you, keep in mind that the controls will be inverted. So now, if you're trying to move the drone away from the trees, you'll need to move the right joystick toward the tree or to the left. This rolls the drone to its left, not your left. Practice this movement before you get too close to the tree, because if you make the wrong movement, your drone can end up crashing into the tree. This same approach can be used if flying near buildings or other structures. Use a combination of your visual reference and the drone's camera to stay clear. Keep in mind that some buildings have a lot of metal in their structure, which can interfere with the drone's compass, and you can get some drift, or you may get a warning in the app of magnetic interference. This is especially true around cell phone towers or high power lines, so use extreme caution. Wind can become very challenging in precision flying. First is to know the limits of your drone. As mentioned, DJI states the Mini SE can hover in up to 22 mile/hour winds, but can you handle the drone in wind that strong? Wind doesn't blow at a constant steady rate. It slows and it gusts. So your drone will move as that happens, especially if the wind is already at the limits for the drone. This means you need to leave more space for drone movement in high wind situations when flying near a structure, and know what you will do if a gust occurs and the drone moves when you weren't expecting it to. Will thrust help you get above the structure to avoid hitting it, or will lowering the drone be better? Or will forward or aft pitch get you out of the situation? These are the things you need to think about before approaching the object you want to fly close to. Practice makes perfect. That applies to flying small unmanned aircraft or drones as well. Practice flying and controlling your drone using gentle and easy inputs and gradually start to get closer to objects practicing these techniques. Always be aware of the environment you're flying in. Will it be windy? Or is there a possibility that a hailstorm might happen with little warning? Or is it so hot that you could potentially lose your iPhone display until you cool it down? These things can be frightening even if you're flying in the middle of a wide open area, let alone if you're attempting precision flying near trees or buildings or some other object. The more comfortable you are with controlling the drone and knowing which movements to make in which situations, the better off you'll be. If you want help from a professional drone flight instructor, we have instructors in many different locations across 20 different states. And if you're in the Seattle area, you can book a session with me. Just go to uavcoach.com. That's all for this video. Please leave comments or questions below, and we'll do our best to reply as quickly as possible. We'll be doing another video soon where we'll get into some of the cinematic techniques that I mentioned, where we utilize the skills we've been discussing up to this point to produce some great aerial shots. Until then, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and click the notifications bell so you'll know when the next video comes out. And from all of us here at UAV Coach, we wish you blue skies and safe flying.